relax, it's time for another spooky video. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking all about near-death experience. I do want to point out that this was a request from my good friend and subscriber on here, Mike. So Mike, thank you so much for requesting this video. I hope I do it justice enough for you. I did find some interesting things. Point out as well that if I sound a little stuffy or just weird, it's because I'm trying to get over a cold. So please just try not to mind that. Also, it's really hot in here, so if I look a little sweaty or gross, that's why. And any noises are probably my fur babies. So just try to overlook that. We all live each day doing ordinary everyday stuff, such as working at our job, cleaning, driving, many of us taking life's smallest pleasures for granted and not realizing it can all be gone in an instant. Life out of nowhere can hit you with a curveball, either taking someone you love or even taking you. Before you know it, the life that you once lived will be nothing but a faint memory. When many pass, their soul fades into the abyss and the person is sadly gone. However, in some cases, few will pass only to be re-alived and live to tell the tale of their otherworldly experiences.
Experience is an unusual experience taking place on the brink of death and recounted by a person after recovery. Typically, an out-of-body experience or a vision of a tunnel of light.
It is rare that many who pass away will live to tell their tale. However, in some cases, it does ring true. Many who once did not ever believe in an afterlife or source, having their lives forever changed. Why do people have near-death experiences, you ask? Well, it's believed that many people who have these near-death experiences were on a very dark path in their life, and they have these experiences to sort of wake them up to make better choices while they're still living here on Earth. Many who have these experiences often do not want to return to their bodies as they're in a very peaceful-like state. However, whenever they are awakened, depending on how they passed away, they will be met with an excruciating pain, their lives being forever altered and them living each day as if it were their last. Scientists actually believe that whenever you pass away, that you will know that you're dying or that you're dead for at least 20 seconds. There are even theories that whenever you pass, you relive every moment of your life leading up to that point. And many dying patients in hospitals will recall having near-death experiences where they find themselves floating above their bodies, often seeing white lights, traveling through tunnels, or seeing passed away loved ones. It's believed that these shared experiences prove that there is an afterlife. One person talked about their near-death experience, and they explained that they were out in the universe with all of the stars as far as the ceiling in their home. They felt a sense of peace, and they could also sense a presence which was sitting in front of them, which radiated love. They would feel as if they became one with this presence. And they knew somehow that they were no longer in their fleshly body, but rather it was their consciousness that was able to allow them to see and feel these things. And they were given the choice of staying or leaving, and this person did not want to return home. As I said before, they were in a very peaceful-like state. All their earthly troubles and worries were gone. However, they knew that it was not their time yet, so they decided to return to the earthly realm. And one woman who passed during an appendix rupture at the age of 13 also shared her near-death experience. She explained that there was something there, yet nothing at all. It was dark and it was light at the same time. She claimed to see multiple floating collars, and she felt very tranquil and at peace. And it felt as though she was an orb. However, not all near-death experiences are pleasant and peaceful. Some are quite the opposite. For example, there is a place in some near-death experiences which is known as the void. And the void is a very scary place where you will be sent into a tunnel of darkness, feeling a state of loneliness. And sometimes you might try to scream, yet nothing will come out and no one will be able to hear you. Not everyone who has a near-death experience has a nice story to tell. Some experience these feelings of dread and loneliness. One person would describe that they were feeling very tranquil, but then they were placed underneath a dark sky. They had an overwhelming feeling that something terrible was about to happen. Another recalled having shadow figures surrounding them, whispering in languages which they were not aware of. And someone else explained that in their near-death experience, they were walking across a bridge and it was very misty at the end, and something from the fog told them to just jump, as it was the only way to end their pain. Now, this was the one that Mike actually told me about, and I have to give you guys a warning. It gives me chills, okay? I just wanted to point out that I'm not a Christian myself. I don't necessarily believe the same way that they do. I have my own beliefs, but I'm very open to other people's interpretations of things and other beliefs. I try to be open to everyone's beliefs. So this story talks about a man who was an atheist, and he ended up passing away in the hospital. This man found himself floating above his body, and he watched as all of these people started gathering into the hallway. The man followed them, and he found that these were not people at all, but rather demonic entities with long, sharp claws. They began violently scratching, pinching, and ripping apart at his face and his body. He could not do anything to stop this, and even if he tried to scream, nothing would come out. No one would hear him. Suddenly, he saw a light coming down from the ceiling, and he seen a figure coming out of this light, and he found himself standing before God. God was what had saved him from these demonic entities, and from that moment forward, he was a believer in the afterlife. So personally, I've always been a believer in the afterlife. I do believe that there is a higher power. Like I said, I don't necessarily believe the way that Christians do. I try to be open to all points of view and other people's beliefs. I know that they might not always be with mine, but that's fine. I do find the stories of near-death experiences very fascinating and frightening at the same time. But what would you guys do if you ever had a near-death experience, or have you ever had a near-death experience for yourself? Please let me know in the comments below. I think that it would be an interesting experience. I mean, I'm not saying that I want to have one, because that involves you having to die, and that scares me. But most of the people who do have near-death experiences, they find themselves not really afraid of death. You know, like I said, it kind of changes and alters their life and their beliefs on things. But if you ever had a near-death experience yourself, I would love to know your story in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Become a morbid maniac. Be sure to hit that bell notification. That way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. be sure to head on over to the second channel, Mel Vlogs, where you will find all of my vlogs, all of my ASMR content, and I will see you all in the next one.